going to do a video of installing these Husky Mud Guards on my 2014 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited. I haven't seen a ton of videos on installing Husky Mud Guards specifically on a Jeep Grand Cherokee, so I figured, one, this will be kind of helpful to figure out the install, and at the very least give you a feel for what it's going to look like on the car. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. And I'll just quickly go through what comes with the mud guards themselves, and then there's some hardware as well that's included. Looks like 3 brackets, I think 1 for each side, and then just a spare, and then it looks like 4 screws. Okay, so the tools you're gonna need to do this would be a T20 Torx 20 screwdriver, an 8mm socket, a push pin, something to pry the push plugs out with. I used a fork. Obviously it's a little messed up now, so I recommend maybe using something else. I had screwdriver, would probably work as well. And then a Phillips number 2. So this is what my Jeep looks like currently without the mud flaps on. I'm gonna start with the rear, and then I'll do the front. But basically what we're gonna take out here is this screw right here, which is the 8mm socket. This like little push plug thing, it's a plastic rivet. You use the push pin, you want to like push it in and it'll pop it out a little bit, and then you need something to pry it out with, so that's what I used the fork with. And then right down here underneath the car, you can see that T20 Torx. 1 screw, 2 screws, and then this rivet. And I actually already did one side. So this is what it looks like as of now, and I'll do the other one. All right, so back in my garage, just because it was freezing out there. Yeah, as you'll see, I did just take out this as well. So 1, which was that plastic piece, 2, which was the 8mm socket, and then 3, which is under the car. Yeah, so you want to keep the 8mm screw. Use the 2 Phillips screws that they gave you. So 1 goes at the top here, okay? Your 8mm socket goes in the middle, like so. And then the last screw that they gave you goes in the bottom there. I will say I did have a bit of an issue when I was going to put this bottom piece on. So this is under the car, was getting this piece on. Went ahead and just loosely screwed in the top screw, so it's like hanging in there a little bit. And then what you want to be sure is when you put the screw, you put it through here, through this black piece of trim, and then through this metal piece. And there should be a little bracket in there as well that's going to hold the screw in. You just want to make sure the screw goes through all 3. Okay, the hooks mounted both sides. So here's 1, here's 2. And now we're gonna start on the front. Let me tell you, the back, it's not hard, it's kind of tedious to get those plugs out. Then on the bottom part there, I messed up on this first one. I actually, between that black trim piece and the like metal piece underneath that, I've accidentally took out the bracket that already was on the car. Basically, I wasn't able to screw in that bottom screw properly. And finally, after messing with it for a while, I got that bracket to realign, and it was really easy to put on. So word to the wise, after you take out that bottom Torx screw, leave that metal bracket on, like don't touch it at all if you can, because that'll help you align that bottom screw when you go to put it back on. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get this part on video because it took me way too long to figure out. So obviously this is not how the car usually looks. This fender line is pushed behind this black piece. And I took out the 3 rivets you gotta take out to put on the front mud guard. And I went ahead and took those out. And I was like, well, where am I supposed to put these brackets? So you gotta pull this fender line up and then just insert 1 bracket right there. And then the second one goes right behind this black piece. I'm not gonna be able to film it, but it goes right here behind this black piece on this metal right there. So yeah. Okay. I managed to get this in here as well. I don't know which side I hated doing more, the front or the back. the back was harder to align the bottom piece. But this part, you actually have to pull out the underliner, and that's kind of hard to match up again. Overall, I'm just ready to get this project kind of wrapped up. So one more to go. All right, so I finally managed to get all of them on. So here's how it looks. Just do a walk around real quick so you get a better feel. I think it probably took me, all in all, 2 hours of labor. There's a lot of in-between time trying to figure out just how to exactly do it. It's not really any instructions on how to get those fasteners off of the liner in there. So that was honestly the trickiest part. I like the look. And almost just slipped. More importantly, I just hope it helps protect my car from some of this mud flying up. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop it in the comments and I'll try to help you as best I can. Thank you. Bye.